Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's episode of The Fishing Teacher, and really appreciate you guys coming by the channel to check it out. Always very grateful for that. And guys, today we're going to be talking about fishing frogs in the summertime. This is the great time of year to fish it. Frog fishing is one of the most productive and exciting ways to catch bass all through the summer, June, July, and August. So we're going to give you guys some good frog tips that I think is going to help you all catch some fish on them that's coming up this summer. I'm also, guys, just like to extend a quick invitation out there. Anyone interested in becoming a channel member of the Fishing Teacher here, all you have to do is go to my YouTube homepage, click on the Fishing Teacher YouTube homepage, click on the join button for information. It's a good way to support the channel and much appreciated there. Pretty hot here in the tackle room today, guys. It's probably 90 degrees and super humid. Got the doors open. I feel the sweat coming down right now, so it's that time of year, which is a good time of year for fishing frogs. Okay, guys, so what I want to do is I want to talk a little bit about, the best color frogs, sort of the areas you want to fish them in, what you want to look for frog fishing. Now, first of all, let's talk a little bit about the frogs in general. I use three primary colors of frogs, and this is the frog I use, guys. This is the Megabass Big Gabot right here. This is my favorite frog for sure. I'll put the link in the description of the video if you guys want to pick up one to try it out. But the three primary colors that I use are based upon pretty much water clarity and sky conditions. The first one I use is a black. Black is a really good color in low light conditions. It's a really good color in sort of that in-between water clarity. So if I have water visibility sort of in that 1.5 to 2.5 foot range, which is, sort of typical with that, this is a really good color. Not that great early in the morning, late in the evening, but I do like it on cloudy days. And I do like to throw it around shade anytime you have shade pockets. So if you could give me one color of frog to fish, say, Randy, you can only fish one color, it would probably be black. I probably caught more on a black frog than about anything. The next one is some type of a white or shad pattern like this. This is a nice one Megabass makes, sort of a translucent shad. Now this is going to be my frog color if I have a little bit cleaner water. Let's say, for example, that water visibility is 3 foot or so, which you can catch fish on frogs in real clear water. But if I have bright sunlight conditions, high light levels, a little bit cleaner water, a little bit tougher fishing conditions in general, I'll go with some type of a natural color like this. And then finally, on my perch pattern here, this is one of my favorites also. Perch pattern is really good if you have a lake that's got some bluegills or perch bedding. If you guys notice some bluegill beds, the area you're fishing, you definitely want to throw a perch pattern. It's also a good all-around color. Thing about colors, guys, it's like colors are important on a lot of different lures, but I'm going to say that if you gave me if you put color as far as relevance, as far as how important it is, I would put color, if you're fishing jerk baits, is the number one factor to consider. I think it's super important with jerk baits, but frogs is probably the other end of the spectrum. I think the color actually has the least amount to do with your success on a frog than about any lure. Now, it's going to help out, don't get me wrong, but if they're biting a frog, they're going to bite a lot of different colors, and a lot of different colors will work too. And also, a lot of people like this pearl or some type of a white color like this. Now, this is really good if it's rainy or cloudy, or if the water is a little bit dirtier. Say that water visibility is down to a foot and a half. The white stands out a little bit better. Also, guys, a white frog works really good around any type of lily pads or submergent vegetation. Now, the next thing with it, guys, let's talk about the type of areas you want to fish a frog in. Now, frog fishing, traditionally was pretty much relegated to fishing around shallow vegetation. That's where it started. If you guys have lily pads, any type of shallow grass, water willows, that's where frogs first gained fame. But what happened is, ever since the advancement of these more high-tech frogs like the Megabass Big Gabot that actually walk like a Zerspook, they're more of an open water frog. So you can fish these in open water. You can fish a frog like the Big Gabot, same place that you'd fish a walking topwater or a popper, whopper plopper. Fish will come out of nowhere and hit a walking frog like this. So from that standpoint, it's pretty versatile when it comes to that. But one of the most key things that you want to look for in frog fishing in the summertime is you have to look for shade pockets. You're not going to catch many fish on a frog in the bright sunlight unless you're fishing over real thick vegetation. Say, for example, you're fishing over a lily pad field or splatter dock or something like that. Yeah, there's shade that's created underneath the water there. it's not that important. But if you're fishing like a traditional man-made reservoir that doesn't have vegetation, and you're targeting bluegill areas, shallow targets like docks and lay down trees and stuff, you really want to focus on the shade. Now, another thing about frogs is it's always good to throw it around some type of an object, but you don't have to have it as long as you have shade. You can go back in a cove where you think there's some bluegills bedding, and if there's an overhanging tree that's got like a shade pocket as big around as a trash can lid or something, throw that frog up in that shade pocket. That's where those big ones are going to be hiding at. And another good thing to remember with frogs, guys, it's really important that you learn how to skip a frog, because skipping will allow you to get that bait back under those low-hanging objects and underneath docks, which is really critical in the summer. Most of the time I'm fishing it on like a 7'2" medium heavy bait cast rod, like that Megabass Perfect Pitch. I use it on 30 to 40 pound test braided line, Seagar Smackdown. And I basically just fish it like a Zara spook. I just, I'll throw it out there, just a twitch, 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 and I'll maybe pause a little bit, twitch, twitch, twitch. So I'm just wanting to stay in one spot as long as possible. Let it stop like that, let the ripples dissipate, twitch it a couple more times. You don't want to fish a frog fast. Most of the time a frog, your frog fishing excels when you need to keep the bait in a small area. So say if you're throwing it in that little shade pocket that's just a couple feet in diameter, you can keep it in that shade pocket for a long time by just letting it float there or barely moving it. A lot of times they'll come up and hammer it like that. But anyway, guys, there's always a population of bass in the summertime in very shallow water, less than 3 foot, even in clear water lakes anywhere out there. But just try them, guys. Just get you a few frogs. Try a couple of these big gabots, get in your shallow water, throwing them around shade. Super exciting way to catch them during the summertime. So hope it helps out. See you.